Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome. I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you today to our 9th Sustainability Summit for Southeast Europe and the Mediterranean. First, a piece of news to let you know that the Prime Minister, who we did have on the agenda for today, is not going to be joining us because he is in the Middle East participating in the events that are unfolding as we speak. Hostages, I believe, already being released by Hamas. The first 7 have already been released. So wherever this peace process is leading, it's on the way, underway, and we should celebrate that. But it's our loss, I'm afraid, that we won't have the Prime Minister with us today. So our byline for this 9th Sustainability Summit is seeking a new balance amidst a derailed green transition. That's quite a powerful statement. It had seemed for some years that the green transition was heading in a single direction, that this was a task of persuading global populations, and little by little they were being persuaded. But it does seem that we're facing something of a backlash at the moment, and that will be one of the themes of our discussions today and tomorrow. The most recent surveys across Europe show that willingness to pay higher prices to mitigate the effects of climate change has declined over time and across all age groups. The environment and climate change have sunk down the list of priorities for European voters from first or second in 2019 to 9th or 10th today. The latest survey data from the UK government reflects a slow but steady downward trend in support for renewable energy over the past 5 years, though overall support remains high and strong opposition is still vanishingly small. And yet, investment in adaptation and mitigation strategies is growing at pace. Sustainable technologies are benefiting from economies of scale to become commercially compelling, while renewable energy capacity is rising steadily, both in absolute terms and increasingly as a percentage of the overall energy mix. Consumers are adapting their behavior in recognition of a new reality, eating less meat, recycling more materials, and embracing more sustainable products, such as electric vehicles. Even in the US, where the shift in the rhetoric coming from the top has been so dramatic, 1 in 10 new cars sold is fully electric. The percentage of renewable energy in the US energy mix is steadily increasing and is currently at around 25%. And most Americans still favor a greener future. Green tech and sustainability are also critical geopolitical themes. China, the world's biggest emitter of greenhouse gases, is racing to become a leader in green tech, mostly solar power, energy storage, and electric vehicles. China's clean energy sector, for example, accounted for 9% of its GDP in 2023. It owns more than 80% of global solar manufacturing, which means that it has twice the share of the solar hardware market as the entire OPEC Plus cartel has in petroleum. China is a monster polluter. It's also the world's leading electro-state. So what's going on? Why do we see this apparent gap between populist rhetoric and facts on the ground? What's missing from our governments and companies' public messaging strategies? And what are the risks of backsliding in our commitment to decarbonisation? What role are companies and our public bodies and our consumers, both in Greece and the wider region and around the world, playing in making our economic habits sustainable? And what more should they be doing? Today and tomorrow we'll be exploring these issues in the company of some very fine speakers. They come from government and academia, businesses and consumer groups, and from all over the region and further afield. Before we hear from them, let me introduce you my co-chair for this evening, a name and face familiar, I'm sure, to all of you. Welcome, Andreas Papandreou, who is a professor at the National Kapodistrian University of Athens and co-chair of the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network in Greece. Andreas, would you like to come up and give us some words? Thank you.